This is your host, Tom Wilmer, reporting from Livermore, California. Please join us on Marina Avenue as we visit with Nancy and Gary Rodrigue at Rodrigue Molyneaux Winery. Gary and Nancy, hi.
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 Tell us about the history.
We had this property. We got caught up in the wine renaissance and the grapes growing, and then wineries kind of followed suit. We got a lot of help from Wente. Even though you get water, you have to get it to your property, and Wente is our neighbor. And I asked him if they could bring it over, and no problem. They brought over a trencher, and within a day it was over here. I can't speak highly enough of the Wente family.
You know, that's something that everywhere I go in the valley, doesn't matter what ma and pa or bigger, there's always a story of another winery owner helping them, lifting them up, giving them barrels or whatever. It's incredible.
That's true. Yeah, that's definitely true. Not just the Wentes, but of everyone. We're particularly wedded to the Wentes because they manage our vineyard. So Gary works closely with them on the harvesting and the growing of the grapes. But so our personal story, we've lived here for 35 years. When we came here, I think there may have been 4 wineries, or 3 maybe even. Wow. And then Retzlaff came, that was the 5th one. And so we saw this growing up, we started visiting the wineries. That was just part of our life. Our daughter was into horses, and we thought, uh-oh. So we actually did have 2 horses here at one time. But it's just being part of this community. It's grapes is what it is, and we wanted to do that.
What brought you guys here?
Job.
What were you doing?
He started out, he was a professor at Ohio. We wanted to move back to California because we're from California, and he got a job at the lab. And then he switched to UC Davis. So he's
And what professor of?
Not anything to do with wine. It was applied physics, applied science. UC Davis had a department down by the laboratory. It was a graduate school, and the graduate students would come here, take their classes, and we had a contingency of about 18 faculty stationed down here to teach the classes. And then they would go inside the laboratory and do their research and get degrees, whatever degrees they wanted. But that campus closed down, and so I was having to commute up to Davis to do my teaching. And we had a couple of options. We could have moved up to Davis, but we'd been here for so long and all of our friends. And I was close enough to retirement, and I said, well, let's go make wine. And I hung up the cap and gown and got my hands dirty.
No, we bought this in '97. You retired in 2003, finally?
Yes.
Yeah, so it took us all these years to plant the grape.
How did your science background help you in what you're doing now?
That's a good question. People ask that. What it's done, it enables me to read the books and the literature, and I don't get panicked over the jargon.
Science doesn't scare you.
It doesn't scare me. However, but it only goes so far. It really, sure, I can understand the chemistry in this, but as anybody can tell you, science of winemaking is very limited.
It's almost to confirm or verify.
That's right. And so that's about what it's done. Like I said, it doesn't frighten me. It doesn't help me make the best wine in the world. I wish I could, but it doesn't. And that's essentially what it's helped me. It is fun. I enjoy working with the laboratory, working with pHs and Brixes, some sort of science in there. That's kind of fun. Yeah. And I enjoy that. But it only goes so far. I always tell people I think of winemaking is a lot like cooking. You try it, you screw up, and you move on. You keep going.
You finally screw up, and you finally give up, and you start over again. Okay, that one's done.
Well, tell us about your wine that you make and what you specialize in.
We specialize in Italian varietals. We like big reds. We think they grow well in Livermore. There's something I've heard that there's something like the hours of sunlight per growing season or something like that. That number which Livermore has is equal to the number in Tuscany. But of course there's a lot more to it. There's a lot more differences. But I think the big reds grow here, and I think that bears out. You see a lot of Cabs, Syrahs, the Rhone varietals, the Sangiovese Barberas. They really do well here. We have that dry heat during the day, and then we get the coolness of the nights. And we have rocky soil because I guess Livermore was a former, an old lake bed. How that plays in, it's not clear, I guess, because that would give it a hotter soil because the rock would hold the heat. Maybe that gives us a different flavor. But again, I think it bears out. I think we do the reds well. I love the reds. I like big reds. That's my favorite.
People could always say they can tell a Rodrigue Molyneaux wine. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but there's something about it. He says, I can always tell it's your wine. Something unique about the flavor. But we, people, they join the wine club for the wine, basically, but also for events. We do a lot of fun events here that are free to wine club members.
Tell us a little taste of your events, what you might do.
We just, actually, was it a week ago or 2 weeks ago, we had Hot August Nights. And that's where we set up tables all along the deck here, which we don't normally do. This is normally private property. And we provide the food. The food's free. They buy a bottle of wine and they can bring friends to that one and watch the sunset. That's a fun one. People love that. It's very low key. Although we do have a little chef that did the food this time. Our personal chef, she wants to call herself. And then we have Taste of Tuscany, which is out in the gardens. They walk from station to station. And we have Italian cheeses and things like that. A fun one's called Cards and Cab. That's that's in the winter. So we have it inside the tasting room, and we have a wheel, and we have cards, and they actually win tickets. And so it's all about the wine, though.
And how many people on average might show up for an event?
We have a parking issue because they either have to park in front and walk down the driveway. We can park about 25 cars. We had a waiting list, like Hot August Nights, we had 60-some people, but we have a waiting list for that. The other thing is like Taste of Tuscany's all day, so they come and go, and that works out fine. So there's a couple hundred people.
Distribution, your wine, do you pretty much have to come to the source?
Yeah, you do. At this point, we're not marketing it anywhere, no restaurants or supermarkets.
And Wine Club is a good source of purchase?
Yeah, the Wine Club is big for us. We have a lot of really good friends now from Wine Club. So we have alumni that have been in the Wine Club for 3 or 4 years, and we know them, and we always accept new members.
The Wine Club members, do they typically stumble on you or walk in the door and then fall in love with your wine? And
a lot of it's that, a lot of it's word of mouth. We also get a lot of referrals from other wineries. Some stumbling. We're kind of an off-road. We don't get huge crowds like Tesla. We put signs out on weekends. So for us, it's perfect. We get a slow but steady group of people. We're trying to experiment with the biking group now. They like to come here. They're coming here twice next weekend.
Okay.
But they like here because of the picnicking and the trees and all that.
Wine club fee or
No
tasting
fee
room fee?
Our wine club is pretty reasonable. People like it because it's 3 bottles 3 times a year. So it's not this huge impact. We keep our prices, they're pretty reasonable actually.
Can you give them a discount off of the reasonable price retail to begin with?
They get a discount in quantity. They don't usually get a discount off a bottle. It depends. We have specials, but for the most part, they get a half case discount or a case discount. And that goes up as long as they stay in. If they stay in a year, it goes up. And next year, they get wine storage. We store cases here. So there are benefits.
Yeah, there are.
We make up what's good for us and what's fun.
And how about tasting fee?
That's something we've experimented. It's $5 now, and that's applied to the purchase. Okay. Yeah, we tried 3, we tried 0, but the $5 doesn't seem to be an issue, and it's always applied to purchase.
Yeah, especially if you buy a bottle or the case or whatever, it's a no-brainer.
If you buy 1 bottle, basically you're getting it free. As far as if you buy 2, we might make some money.
We usually harvest high bricks. I like a high bricks, and about 25 plus, 26 is where I usually like to get it at. So we bring it in, and one thing good about Livermore is that we have a long growing season, so we can let, especially our Barberas, Barbera especially, we can let that grape hang on the vine a long time. And people love our Barberas because it does have a high alcohol. And also it comes in so high in sugar, you very often have a little touch of sweetness in there. That's fun to do. Cabs, I'm a little afraid to let those go on the vine too long because we harvest those on November 1st, and we can get a freeze here in November, and so I'm a little reluctant to let it hang too long.
You can make ice wine.
Well, we could make ice wine, right. But things are changing. I don't know, if last year was completely different. Who knows? Maybe something's going on out there. I don't know. Maybe Al Gore's right.
Okay, so what we like to do is we like to make those varietals, only those varietals. So we always have 100% Barbera, 100% Sangiovese, 100% Cabernet, and then we do blends. But we always have at least 100% of each of those because those are what we grow and we want to taste them.
What's the most popular blend?
Probably our Chianti, which is Cabiovese, wouldn't you say? Mm-hmm. And it's mainly Sangiovese, as Chiantis are. We also do a Pinot Bianco, which is actually 100%. We don't blend that one at all. We do a port, and we do a rosé occasionally, too, which turns out really nicely. Let's see. Oh, Primitivo. We do 100% Primitivo. We aren't blending that one yet.
Our Nebbiolo is coming in. We're really excited about that. We're hoping it turns out all right because I've heard it's really a tough grape to grow. I guess Wente has some, and they're saying that they're really having a hard time with it. They don't know why. Karen across the street is going to grow some for us, and hopefully we'll make a good Barolo or a Boresco, and I'm really excited about that. So that's another one.
Luciano, which we don't have yet, and Dolcetto. What else did you want to do? Refosco. So we're hoping to get those going too. So this is kind of a long-term project. We've started this winery really slowly. Our tasting used to be outside, and we started there, and we just...
People always ask if we're going to increase our production, and I'm not sure we are. I think we're heading to 1,500 cases. That's what I'd like to do, and maybe stay there for a while, and then get our wines really, what I think, really high standard. I really want to do that. I'd like to get to a level and then take a breather and really concentrate on getting really good wine. That's what I really want. I always regard this as a hobby that kind of got out of hand. I think Nancy and I really like, of course we want to make money, but we're not out to make millions. We're past that. Yeah, we want to make good wine. That's what our goal is. That's the driver, right? And how that's tested through competitions, or I'm not sure, how we determine what is a good wine. We're getting there. We try our best, and that's our goal.
We have a lot of really dedicated people that really love our wine, and those people are either pouring for us, or we have a tasting manager. That's someone who's very dedicated.
Our daughter's our marketing manager. Oh, cool. Yeah, she's into it. She really has a lot of fun. I think she really has a knack for marketing. She makes us modern. Yeah, I didn't know things like Facebook and Twitter. We recognize youth. And I wish
they are the future.
They are the future, and they know, and they seem to be more savvy about it. And that's really great. It's something we need.
We need them.
We need them, yes. And I don't know if she'll carry on with the winery. We hope she does. She seems to be really interested.
Well, great. Thank you, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
We've been speaking with Nancy and Gary Rodrigue at Rodrigue Molyneaux Winery on Marina Avenue in Livermore, California.